What you've seen from Ursula von der Leyen today is an attempt for the European Union to take control of every single aspect of our lives. She wants to build a centralised, undemocratic, updated form of communism that will render nation-state parliaments, where the state controls everything.
Today, Ursula von der Leyen was approved by the new incoming members of the European Parliament to become the next president of the European Commission. First of all, she was not even supposed to be a candidate. For months, we witnessed the so-called Spitzenkandidaten campaigning and even holding debates on television. Now, the public doesn't get to vote on the president of the European Commission, but it was weird seeing mainline European media acting like they did. The man who was seen as most likely to become Commission president was Manfred Weber of the Bavarian Christian Social Union. However, instead of nominating one of the designated Spitzenkandidaten, they nominated someone totally different. The European Council nominated German Defense Minister Ursula von der Leyen, a member of the German CDU. Now, you have the European Council, which is the heads of state for each EU country. Then you have the EU Commission and the EU Parliament, which in some ways can be seen as a bicameral legislature. However, the Commission is not elected and in many ways actually has more power than the Parliament. The whole system is extremely complicated, and even members of the EU Parliament do not know how it really works. Different MEPs will say things about how the EU functions that are completely contradictory. For at least the past 4 cycles, whoever was nominated by the Council was approved by the EU Parliament by a large margin. Ursula von der Leyen just barely made it. She needed 374 votes to be approved, 383 voted in favor, 327 voted against, 23 abstained, and apparently another 18 did not bother to show up. Ursula von der Leyen is a hardcore globalist. She has called for a United States of Europe. She has called for a European army spearheaded by Germany and France. On the eve of her confirmation vote, she said she was willing to delay Brexit even longer and pledged a Green Deal for Europe. As Defense Minister of Germany, she is not known for making the Bundeswehr a feared military, but for cutesy stuff like introducing uniforms for pregnant women and adding nurseries to bases. She has tried to stamp out hazing of new recruits. She comes from a long line of rich and powerful people going all the way back to at least the 1700s. Her father, Ernst Albrecht, was the prime minister of the German state of Lower Saxony for 24 years. He is a direct descendant of wealthy cotton merchants from both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. One of his direct ancestors is the industrialist Johann Ludwig Knoop, who built cotton mills all over Europe and Russia. He was made a baron by Russian Emperor Alexander II. Another direct ancestor is a former lieutenant governor of South Carolina, James Ladson. Her husband, Heiko von der Leyen, is a professor of medicine who is descended from a family of wealthy silk merchants. She was born in Brussels. She attended schools in London and Charleston, South Carolina, using fake names. Supposedly, Red Army faction had threatened to kidnap members of her family. Now, what makes Ursula von der Leyen a lot different than other globalists is the fact that she has 7 children. Her 7th child was born in 1999. This is in stark contrast to the likes of Angela Merkel, Emmanuel Macron, and many others. Now, it's possible that the new MEPs will be hopelessly deadlocked and the European Commission will have a hard time getting new legislation passed. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. A few other notes about the new incoming MEPs. I talked about Heinz Christian Stracke of the Austrian Freedom Party. He decided to give his seat to another member. I think the reason for this is because a lot of people see these MEP seats as golden parachutes for the elites. You get a huge salary, a huge expense account, a lot of perks, but you don't actually have many obligations. Taking the seat would have reinforced an image of Straka as part of the political elite when the party needs to be seen as anti-establishment opposition. An interesting stat I saw: of the 751 new MEPs that took their seats, only 11% are entrepreneurs. Meanwhile, 12% have a background in journalism, or at least alleged journalism. All right, thanks for watching this video. Click the like button, post a comment, tell me what you think about this. And please consider making a donation, as YouTube has mass demonetized my entire channel. And please support my sponsor, Patriotic Flags, the online flag store, patriotic-flags.com. All right, click the subscribe button. New video every few days.
I have to say, from our perspective, in some ways, I'm really rather pleased, because you've just made Brexit a lot more popular in the United Kingdom. Thank God we're leaving. But it is